In the headlines, Ekiti Governor-elect Oyebanji deputy gets certificate of return. President Buhari departs Abuja for Commonwealth meeting in Rwanda. Troops of Operation Hatenkai hand over 2 rescued Chibok girls, 2 children to Borno government. And on the foreign scene, death toll from Afghanistan earthquake kills 1,000, injures 1,500. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. The governor-elect of Ekiti State and candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the June 18th governorship election, Biodun Oyebanji, and his deputy, Monishade Afuye, have received their certificates of return. Speaking in Ado Ekiti after receiving his certificate, Oyebanji promised not to betray the confidence of Ekiti people who chose him among others. He said the introduction of the bimodal voter authentication system is a game changer in the country's electioneering process, adding that the poll was credible as it reflected the wishes of the people. Meanwhile, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has disclosed plans by his administration to constitute a committee that will reconcile all aggrieved members of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the state. The governor disclosed this on Tuesday when he presided over the monthly State Executive Council meeting at the Government House, Lafia. He said the committee will put up proper procedures to address any grievances. The state chapter of the party, according to reports, is enmeshed in a crisis following the outcome of the recently conducted primaries in the state. And still talking politics, ahead of the 2023 general elections, Nasarawa State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Emmanuel Umbugadu, has picked Yahya Usman Ohinoi as his running mate. Umbugadu made the disclosure at a meeting with the state working committee members of the party in Lafia. Abdullahi Abubakar sent in this report to be presented from our studios. All right, that story will come subsequently. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday departed Abuja for Kigali, Rwanda, to attend the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, slated for June 20th to 26, 2022. At the meeting, the president will join other leaders to participate in discussions focused on the progress and prosperity of the more than 2 billion people living in the 54 independent countries in Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe and the Pacific that make up the Commonwealth. The theme for this meeting in 2022 is delivering a common future, connecting, innovating, transforming. The heads of government are expected to reaffirm their commitment to upholding the Commonwealth Charter, which focuses on democracy, human rights, the rule of law, as well as economic opportunities and sustainable development. Buhari will attend the official opening ceremony on June 24th, followed by high-level meetings of heads of state and government on Friday, 24th and Saturday, 25th June, according to a statement by his spokesman, Femi Adesina. And now to the Nasarawa story. The Nasarawa State Governor, Abdullahi Sule, has disclosed plans by his administration to constitute a committee that will look into the APC crisis in the state. The governor disclosed this on Tuesday when he presided over a monthly State Executive Council meeting at Government House, Lafia. He said the committee will put up a proper procedure to address any grievances. The state chapter of the party, according to reports, is enmeshed in a crisis following the outcome of the recently conducted primaries. Similarly, ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Nasarawa State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Emmanuel Umbugadu, has picked Yahya Usman Ohinoi as his running mate. Umbugadu made the disclosure at a meeting with the state working committee members of the party in Lafia. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report as presented from our studio.
The Nasarawa State PDP gubernatorial candidate, Umbugadu, said the party had zoned the position of running mate to Nasarawa West Senatorial District after due consultations with all the relevant organs of the party in the state. He explained that the party took decision for strategic reasons to ensure victory at the 2023 polls.
Today, we combined for opposite Kepi and Ago permit me to introduce a running mate, a brand new running mate that will stand with me in the process of giving an round of applause. Alhaji, honorable, 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 Yahaya Usman Obidoye.
Umbugedu, a candidate of the party in 2019, who picked Ohenu, a two-term state House of Assembly member from Toko local government area of the state, said he had the pedigree and records of achievement to transform the state.
I believe having an executive power will enable me to do more than beyond the expectations of the people of Nasarawa State. And that is why I believe I am the best man for the job. And if you want to do any assessment in terms of youth empowerment, in 2011-2012, I trained more than 650 youth in School of Labor in Kaduna. The facts are there. You can go and investigate. We have everything to prove to you that I'll be a focused leader, I'll be a leader, I'll be a governor of the people of Nasarawa State, a government that will represent the interests of everybody in Nasarawa State.
Umbugedu therefore said the party in the state is united and it will coast to victory in 2023. Earlier, Nasarawa State PDP chairman Francis Orogu corroborated the party candidate that the choice of the running mate was done after due consultations with all critical stakeholders of the party. Orogu said with the unveiling of the running mate, the party is sure of defeating the governing All Progressive Congress APC in the state.
This is not a joke, it's a reality. The time has come for the right government to be in place in this case. And we believe that those who know what it is
PDP has ruled the state for 12 years, from 1999 to 2011, by two different governors, including the current APC national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, but all effort to return to power since then failed to yield results.
And the Nigerian Army says it has rescued 2 Chibok girls during its operations in Bama and Goza local government areas of Borno State. The theater commander of Operation Hatinkai, Major General Christopher Musa, who disclosed this in his recent operations update, said the 2 Chibok girls were rescued in 2 separate operations. Musa, who stated that 57,000 Boko Haram terrorists have surrendered and are undergoing rehabilitation and investigation, urged communities not to trade with terrorists.
Being done now is to ensure that they are safe and secured, while the other ones are encouraged to surrender. Now, for those ones who are still in the bushes, what we are telling them is that they still have the opportunity to come out. They can see, since the other ones have surrendered, nothing has happened to them. They are being treated nicely, treated humanely, and so they have that freedom. Let them not listen to their commanders, that if you trade with them, they are a bunch of criminals. They have no respect for human life. We have seen what they've done to the scrap metal people, how they just killed them, all because they were doing trading and because they were interacting with them. So people should avoid them. We have troops. We want to ensure that farmers go back to their farms, be able to farm very well. Last year, the harvest was good. We want this year the harvest to be better.
One of the operations that was conducted in that general area actually displaced most of the terrorists in that general area. And Hawa Joseph was one of the people that the troops found and brought back to Bama. From there, she was taken to the hospital, checked, and since then she has been rehabilitated. Secondly is Mary Dauda, who was rescued on the 14th of July. She was rescued around the general area of Omboshe. That's in the 26th Task Force Brigade area in Goza general area. Troops on patrol also during Operation Desert Sanity encountered, after clearing some of the areas, they met her and rescued her with her baby and brought her to Goza for onward movement to this general area.
President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded the names of 7 ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Buhari's letter was read on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday, while the Senate President Ahmed Lawan at the start of plenary. The report.
Following the resignation of some cabinet ministers ahead of the 2023 general election, President Muhammadu Buhari this Tuesday forwarded names of nominees to fill the vacuum. The nominees are to replace ministers in his cabinet who had resigned to contest the presidential primaries of the All Progressive Congress, as well as other offices.
I have the honor to forward the underlisted ministerial nominees for confirmation by the Senate. 1. Henry Ikechukwu Iko, Abia State. 2. Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State. 3. Ekuma Nkama Joseph Nkama, Ebonyi State. 4. Goodluck Nana Opia, Imo State. 5. Umar Ibrahim Eliakub, Kano State. 6. Ademola Adewole Adegorie, Ondo State. And 7. Odum Udi, River State. Copies of their curriculum vitae are attached herewith. It is my hope that this exercise will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the distinguished members of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
Some of the cabinet ministers who resigned for the purpose of contesting the presidential primaries include Godswill Akpabio, Rotimi Amechi, Ogbonnaya Onu, and Chukwuemeka Nwajuba.
Earlier, we spoke with Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst, in a phone interview on this issue.
This is the issue of, due diligence and screening is important because in times past we've seen how ministers appointed at the end of the day, scandalous issues, arise from the issue of their qualification. We've had people who have not even served, done their NYSC and all that. If you look at that, don't you think that has an implication on their performance eventually?
Definitely it will do, but more so that, if the due process is not short-circuited, I think there won't be issues, there won't be any scandal. I think the problem we have had over time is lack of due diligence. For instance, when the Ibrahim Magu was nominated, before you nominate somebody, you are supposed to have security reports on that person. And situations where you don't have all the due process are not followed is what you see, is what you get, you see, or what you see that you get. But if the DSS has done their work, if the relevant committee of the Senate also do their work, and eventually the screening at plenary is done thoroughly, I think we will be able to sidestep the issue of scandal. Well, the president must have looked at their various competencies. I will expect that maybe there will even be a cabinet reshuffle after these people may have been screened and cleared by the Senate. Reshuffling in the sense that if those who are brought to replace those who resigned are not as competent as where those who resigned were posted, the president is at liberty to reshuffle his cabinet and move them to areas of their competence. So that is utterly the discretion and the discretion of Mr. President to post them to where their competences lie.
All right. There is also the issue of, the federal character, whether it should be jettisoned.
I think where the issue lies is where the president is making more than one nomination. As we currently see, we have a 43-member cabinet. So the president himself is the petroleum minister. and that apart from the 36, he also appointed additional, is it 6 or 8 persons at his discretion. But, when you appoint people on the basis of job for the boys, or job for the girls, or job for the loyalists, you may not actually get the best. There's nothing wrong with federal character principle. You cannot do away with federal character principle in an heterogeneous and plural society like Nigeria. And that's why the issue of Muslim, Christian ticket is an issue. Otherwise, nobody will care. But because we have fault lines that are widening, because of issue of domination and marginalization as well as discrimination, that's why the Constitution inserted that clause of federal character. And if you read that section of the Constitution, it talks about promotion of public loyalty, unity. So it's about unifying the country. That is why you have federal character principle. But I just hope it will not be abused.
You're still watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come after the break, the return of olden days kitchen tools. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Ekiti Governor-elect Oyebanji, deputy, gets certificate of return. And President Muhammadu Buhari departs Abuja for Commonwealth meeting in Rwanda. Moving on to more news now, the Nigerian Bar Association says there is an urgent need for fundamental reforms of the administration and governance of the Nigerian judiciary. In a press statement issued by President Olumide Akpata, the NBA described as disheartening and unfortunate the conditions highlighted in the letter written by 14 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, alleging various improprieties and administrative inefficiencies, and the subsequent response of the CJN. The NBA noted that the situation has not only affected the judicial responsibilities of the justices, but also impacted on the justice administration process. While advocating for the independence and financial autonomy of the judiciary, the NBA also noted that it is important that the judiciary must not only be seen, but should be seen as being above board and transparent in the management and allocation of the resources currently available to it. The acting governor of Kaduna State, Hadiza Balarabe, has charged the first batch of the state's intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia to be good ambassadors of the state and the country. The acting governor, while speaking at the farewell visit to the intending pilgrims before their airlift at the Mando Hajj Transit Camp on Tuesday, appealed to them to pray for Kaduna State and the country. The report.
Dr. Hadiza Balarabe charged the intending pilgrims to conduct themselves in a manner that is worthy of emulation by other pilgrims, adding that such behavior will bring honor to Kaduna State and Nigeria.
Our message to them is we want them to be good ambassadors of not only Kaduna State but Nigeria as a whole. They should conduct themselves in a manner that is worthy of emulation by each and every pilgrim that would be there in the Holy Land. And we also urge them to make out the time, since it is a time for prayer and a time for reflection, that they should make out the time to pray for the country, pray for Kaduna State, pray for our leaders.
In his remarks, the Executive Secretary of the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Dr. Yusuf Yakubu, commended the state government for taking measures to ensure a hitch-free exercise. Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, old kitchen tools such as grinding stones, coal and clay pots, among others, are gradually fading out in many homes as people gradually embrace modern cooking utensils. And despite this paradigm shift, many people still prefer the traditional ones as they can be readily seen in their homes. In this report, our correspondent takes a look at how housewives are returning to the old kitchen utensils amidst the current economic realities. Hamid Oyegbadi filed in this report as presented from our studio.
These utensils belong to the yesteryears and can hardly be found in many homes in the city. Those who use them say they prefer them to modern kitchen utensils. Meanwhile, as modernity takes its toll on these and many others, some housewives in Osun State are returning to old kitchen tools because of high cost of modern utensils. Mrs. Eunice Babalola says she uses grinding stone and clay pot for her cooking, adding that she enjoys them.
In our house, we are still using it because when you use it, when you want to cook, you will know that that there is a special taste that you too you will enjoy. Then the way you grind it, you will know that this thing is okay.
Mr. Gwenle Adebi shares his experience of clay pot and grinding stone in the village while growing up.
I know about clay pot because I've lived in the village and where we were using clay pot for cooking. And I know that clay pots, after cooking for 4 or 5 hours, the cook or the soup inside that clay pot will still be hot.
Madam Grace Dari say pepper mashed on the grinding stone and soup cooked with clay pots tastes more natural and are believed to be healthy.
The advantages in using the stone to grind pepper, it makes our pepper to be very, very smooth and is very, very tasteful. When you use that, the pepper you grind on stone than that of machines.
Although others differ with her stand, there is a general consensus that old kitchen utensils are more affordable and readily available for those who still rely on them.
Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, says that the termination of over 2,000 teachers was done to improve the quality of education in the state. The SUBEB chairman, Tijani Abdullahi, told journalists that apart from those who failed tests, other teachers, including the president, the then chairman of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, Kaduna State, and now president of the NUT, were relieved of their appointments. Abdullahi says the exercise was to ensure only competent teachers teach in the schools. Reacting to the development, the Kaduna State wing of the Nigeria Union of Teachers on Tuesday said the termination is illegal as the court has intervened in the matter and called on government to rescind its decision.
Government is concerned not about sacking people, but about improving the teacher quality. So those who scored below 40% and those who refused to sit for the test, they were all been, their appointments have been terminated because the test we said was compulsory. And those who were encouraging teachers not to sit for the exam, the union, you'll be surprised, many of them sat for the test, but they were misleading their teachers. Don't go and sit for the test, but we have their names. We are going to reveal their names. Some of them passed, some of them refused to take the test. I think the president of the Kaduna wing or something like that.
There was a pending suit number NICN/KD/54/2021 dated 30th November 2021, which the NUT claimed against the State Universal Basic Education Board as one of the defendants, seeking for an order of interlocutory injunction to restrain SUBEB from conducting competency tests, which is now the subject matter of the query and dismissal letters issued to some teachers in the public primary school. SWEC in session called on government to rescind her decision on dismissing of experienced teachers on the basis of competency tests, as it is inimical to the system.
The Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has approved the release of 1 billion naira for the payment of registration fees and upkeep allowances to some indigent students. The Permanent Secretary, Sokoto State Scholarship Board, Alhaji Bello Isa, who disclosed this while speaking to Trust TV in Sokoto, said the beneficiaries comprise students sponsored by government both within and outside the country. Issa explained that a sum of 188.5 million naira is for the payment of registration fees to 5,643 students, both fresh and regular students at Sokoto State University, and 312 million is for 7,096 students at Usman Danfodio University. He added that $89,100 and £15,000 is for tuition fees and upkeep allowances to some regular students at various institutions in London, Canada, and other countries across the world.
In some days to come, we will be traveling to Turkey, Sudan, and Egypt in order to find a suitable institution where these children will be placed for them to continue with their studies. Equally, His Excellency in his wisdom has approved that myself, the Permanent Secretary of the Scholarship Board, and one other official should travel to 3 different countries on facility tour, that is Turkey, Egypt, and Sudan. We are directed by His Excellency to go and have a on-the-spot fiscal assessment of the institutions and the facilities in this country.
And now a look at the foreign scene, where in Afghanistan the death toll from a magnitude 5.9 earthquake has reached 1,000, with over 1,500 others injured in the provinces of Paktika and Khost. Authorities say hundreds of homes have been destroyed in the underdeveloped region. Tremors could be felt in neighboring Pakistan and Iran, where there were no immediate reports of damage or casualties. The quake struck hardest in the rugged terrain of the east, where people already live in hard lives. The country were in the grip of a humanitarian disaster made worse by the Taliban takeover in August. The death toll has climbed steadily all day as news of casualties filtered in from hard-to-reach areas in the mountains. And the country's supreme leader, Hibatullah Akhundzada, warned it will likely rise further. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.